Great and terrible TV series finales. That is the topic tonight. Let's go to the great. So we'll start with the great ones. So what makes one great? It's kind of hard to tell because, again, sometimes in a TV series finale, you kind of have to be bold. You can't just you can't just be, you can't just fade out when it comes to a TV series finale. You have to often go bold. You have to go out kind of with a bang sometimes. Fringe. So the finale of the TV show Fringe. Yes, the story, the season arc came to complete. It made sense. It was well executed. Character arcs were completed. And it was truly a high-stakes deal. Basically, the future of humanity was at stake. And you know what? They succeeded. So one of the things that you might see a lot of in TV series finales, the episode bring back some old favorites. They will reference kind of themselves, reference past episodes. Fringe did that too, and it wasn't just one or two so much mentioned, which is what I like. They went like, they were like, yes, remember this? This is still happening. This was still here. We remember that. This was cool. Yes, you loved it. Thanks for watching. I would say that the number one reason why I think Fringe had a great TV series finale is because of the very last shot of the episode. The very last shot of the entire show. Just from a sheer visual standpoint, the very first and the very last shots of the show tell the whole story right there. The very first shot of the TV show Fringe. It's at night, it's during a heavy thunder lightning storm, and it's on an airplane that's experiencing turbulence. So that kind of set up the whole show right there. It's a dark story, very serious, involves technology, involves danger. You go through all the show, you meet the characters, you go on all their crazy adventures, all the junk they had to deal with, all the fights, all the heartbreak, all the heartwarming, all the death, all the destruction. And then at the very end, the very last shot, it's basically the most important character of the show. Basically, I wouldn't go with that. They're all important, but it's during the day, and there's beautiful, calming, tranquil music in the background, and then the character walked in. They were in their house. Their wife and child was upstairs playing around, being happy, laughing, and so the final and so the character pulls out a piece of paper that has a symbol of forgiveness and redemption. I won't get into that too much, but the character just looks right into the camera, and then cut to black. End of show. That to me is beautiful. That just goes to show you. It went from being a show about just the dark conflict, serious nature of man and technology, and then it, boom, at the very end, it shows you no. What the show was really about was people. It was about hope. It was about love. It was about forgiveness. It was about redemption. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh my gosh. Can I use the word perfect? Okay, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was. I don't think anyone can doubt that it was great, at the very least, near perfect. Oh, the finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Again, the show had been building to these moments for 3 seasons, several years. It was all in, do or die, and they absolutely nailed it. Yes, there was the big fight scene between the main character and the main villain that had been teased from the beginning. Oh, that was glorious, visually spectacular. You were on the edge of your seat. You cheered. You were biting your nails in anticipation. Other plot lines of the other characters absolutely nailed it. That Agni Kai between Zuko and Azula. Poetic. It was beautiful. It was glorious. Epic, heartwarming, heart-wrenching. It still had those moments of humor in there as well. They brought back some of the old favorites from throughout the show. They really brought everything full circle. I'm almost surprised they actually pulled it off because thinking about it, they probably could have stumbled at the goal line, but they didn't. The writers did not stumble at the goal line for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Bravo, writers, bravo. Anyway, the first one that I think was terrible. Lost. Terrible season finale, in my personal opinion. Lost just got so bogged down in the mythology and the lore that they really didn't answer a lot of the questions. I guess you could say that's my biggest concern, that they didn't really answer a lot of the audience's questions. And then Like, there were so many mysteries still. I mean, fine, the show ultimately was about the characters, was ultimately about the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. I mean, fine. But it's just, you had so much still, and that, I mean, it just kind of took away. And then also, so were they actually dead and in purgatory the whole time? I don't know. Again, it was never clear. I think it did end with a big scene at a Catholic church, but still, I'm like, were they actually in purgatory? Were they actually in purgatory? I could not tell you. Anyway, so terrible TV series finale. Number 1 was Lost, and then number 2, How I Met Your Mother. Now, you might have heard about the outrage. It was trying to be like the next Friends, kind of. I mean, looking back in hindsight, yeah, but I was really into How I Met Your Mother back in the day. I had to give up watching How I Met Your Mother for Lent because I was just so, like, obsessed with it. It was just constantly on my mind. Really just, again, it just carried on too long. But then the last season and a half, oh, hello, it picked back up. It was doing great. We introduced the mother. We saw her. We got so close. It was like, yes, good. It's back on top form. It's going to go out really well. And then it didn't. They were going so well. And it just failed. Really? Really? I mean, sure, it started out the way it began. Ted Mosby is the hopeless romantic type. But no, sorry. Like, the whole point of the show was how Ted met the mother. So as soon as you saw Ted meet the mother, roll credits. Done. Bravo. You are heroes. But no. You add on that little bit, spoiler alert, you added on that little bit about the mother passing away. But you barely showed it. You just showed her a little sick in the hospital bed. And then that's it. At first I was just kind of like, well, huh? And then, but as the night progressed, I remember sitting in bed, thinking about it, and I was just so angry, you know? I lost sleep that night just thinking, because I was so angry at the end of How I Met Your Mother. There is something I do kind of want to say. Yes, TV shows and, storytelling, whether they're great or terrible, ultimately a TV show, the stories told in a TV show are not the greatest story ever told. As much as we don't like an ending of a TV show, thanks be to God. Because in a way, because yes, you invest all that like time and you think about it a lot and you love it and you're talking to other people about it and you're bonding and stuff like that, and God can use that to bring you closer to Him, and God can use that, and, yeah, that's great. But if the ending is terrible, as much as it hurts, as much as it can hurt, I say that's better. It reminds us that our hope is not in a TV show. Our ultimate source of joy is not a TV show. It is God. It is God Himself. Never mind the stories, the great ones and the terrible ones. It's the greatest story ever told. That's where we should be looking. I guess you could say, let's not follow a TV show religiously.